We've never seen a failure in the gaming industry quite like what we witnessed with Concord, a game that spent 8 years in development, $200 million to make this, a $40 price point for a hero shooter that, quite frankly, people have other free-to-play options that are better, and of course, so many of the character designs seem to be DEI-inspired, and after less than 2 weeks on the market, following abysmal player counts and a ton of backlash, Sony said, you know what, we're calling it quits. PlayStation 5 shooter Concord taken offline just 2 weeks after release. We've certainly seen some incredible failures before, games that people expected to do big things and ultimately didn't live up to it. But this might be one of the worst things we've ever witnessed. And as the Firewalk, the studio behind this, as the Firewalk devs continue to have meltdowns, of course not acknowledging the fact that maybe wokeness had something to do with why people weren't interested in this at all, they have been publicly melting down. Well, now there's some people that are taking action to try to get Concord back. But much like we saw with the Morbius troll that happened a few years ago that gaslit Sony into re-releasing Morbius when it just flopped again, seems like that's exactly what's going on here. Will Concord ever come back? Nearly 2,000 people have signed a petition willing the game to, but even the experts reckon it's an unprecedented situation. Hey, there's a chance not all these people who have signed this thing are joking, right? And this is the petition. Concord, 2,000 signatures. Congratulations. We were all busy that week. Please release Concord again. And maybe a handful of people don't realize this is a troll, but all you got to do is look at some of the comments of the people that have signed this thing. Let me tell you why this petition is 100% necessary. The week Concord dropped, I was waist deep fighting misogynists and literal Nazis on Twitter. Like 8 hours over 5 days, nonstop digital warfare. Meanwhile, Asmongold and his army were out here dragging the game to filth, and I didn't even get a second to play it for myself. Please bring it back again. If you do, I'll personally invest $50 million to keep this game alive and bear the operational costs. Concordian says, I was too busy tending the family. They all love Concord. And my pets, they're all named after Concord characters, to play Concord during that week. Now they're out of the situation. I have time necessary to boot up some Concord. Sorry if you have any Concord in your heart. Please Concord us Concord fans with more Concord. I was waiting for this game so long, but at launch I accidentally had diarrhea and was on the toilet for 2 weeks straight, so I didn't have any time for Concord. I was too busy to play Overwatch or see the newest Guardians of the Galaxy, and then I was too busy to try Concord. I might be busy again, but it's worth a shot. I was in a mental institution for my mental breakdown after so many microaggressions. Please keep open Concord so I can play in a safe space. I am a proud, homeless, non-binary gay living on the streets of California, and my transgender dog, who thinks he's a cat, ate my PC cords, and I wasn't able to play the masterpiece called Concord. Please relaunch this game so I can play and fight against all these bigotry gamers that didn't want to spend their money on this incredible gay activism game. I think you can kind of see what's going on here, right? Now, a lot of people think that even if they could potentially relaunch free-to-play at some point in time, a lot of people think it's just over. That Sony said, no, this was an embarrassment. This was a failure. We're going to shit-can this thing, and it's never going to come back. And quite frankly, that probably should be the way that they go about it. With over $200 million invested in this thing, and the estimates were that around 20 or maybe less than 20,000 copies of this actually sold. I would bet less based on the number of players that we could actually see playing and the rank in the PlayStation Store and stuff like that. There was no one active on this game. For a hero shooter game, when a couple days after launch you're having problems finding matches, that spells death for your game. That's what happened for Concord. And you know, these guys, they didn't want to admit, a lot of the developers didn't want to admit that maybe their ideology, that consistently pushing their ideology into whatever they're making, that couldn't have had any possible impact on this game, we promise. I think we all know that a lot of problems took place. There were a lot of problems with this game, including the price, including another live service hero shooter. But ultimately, at the end of the day, when people see that trailer and immediately get pushed aside by all the pronoun propaganda and shit like that, that is also one of the big reasons why this failed. But what do you guys think? Should they release Concord again? Should they listen to the fans, the 2,000 people that have signed this petition that desperately want Sony to release this again so it can flop all over? Well, maybe that'll actually happen. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.